Thank you, Eric. Good afternoon. So this new project deals with cumulative effects of resource development on mining impacted watersheds. The driver for the project was the GSC's new strategic plan. We can skip the abstract. Next, please. Skip it. And the project brings together scientists from GSC, no, go back. Can you go back, please?
Yeah. There's a slight delay between us and you.
All right. Okay, we're in different time zones. So the project assembles members from Central Division, Northern Division, Atlantic, Calgary, as well as colleagues from CanMet Mining, University of Ottawa, and Queen's. So, next, please. Okay. So there's an exploration boom going on in Northern Ontario in the historic town of Cobalt, and the GSC is going to be there. Instead of silver, this time the commodity of interest is cobalt, which is a critical element in green technologies, such as used in rechargeable batteries powering electric vehicles. So around a little over 100 years ago, very rich silver veins containing cobalt, nickel, and arsenic were discovered near the town of Cobalt. By 1911, Cobalt was the third largest mining center in the world. Then production started to decline after the high-grade deposits were mined out. And the last mine shot in 1989. But 100 years of mining has left a legacy of dozens of abandoned mine sites and over 18 uncontained tailings disposal areas. There is pervasive arsenic, nickel, and cobalt contamination in the regional watersheds. So currently the area is economically depressed with some tourism and logging, but the new exploration boom is renewing activity, and there's been quite a bit of drilling in the area with great hopes. So the renewed exploration and development in historical districts such as Cobalt presents unique challenges for environmental assessments because of the cumulative nature of environmental impacts. Could you go to the next slide, please? However, current environmental regulations are not terribly well suited to resource development in brownfield or historically impacted watersheds. The legislation tends to discourage mining companies from assuming environmental liabilities from past operations or even reprocessing old mine wastes. So there's a need for a more holistic and regional approach to EAs. And that, I think, is captured in the new environmental legislation in Bill C-69. So the stakeholders around Cobalt are first and foremost the mining companies. First Cobalt is a new junior company, and Amoco Eagle is the main property owner in the area. The regional community of the Tri-Town, New Liskeard, Haileybury, Cobalt, and the Temagami and Temiskaming First Nations. Now the concerns, or environmental concerns, relate to potable water supplies and notably the remobilization of contaminants which have been sequestered for a long time, for up to a century, due to remobilization due to new mining or climate change related extreme flow events. New slide, please. Next. So how do you assess the environmental impact of new mining activity against an already contaminated background? Well, this project is going to setting out to develop new geoscience methods for distinguishing the environmental impact of new mining activity from complex background conditions.
Merci beaucoup, Alexandre.